She thinks I'm a little lazy, I think she's a little crazy. We like summer and we like spring, watching wrestling in the ring. She ain't shy, she speaks her mind, tough as nails and smooth as wine. We burn hot as kerosene, baby, we got our own thing. She ain't skinny and I ain't tall, and that don't bother us at all. I run naked through the yard, she flash every police car, drinking wine and getting tired, and shooting out the damn street lights. How does she put up with me? Oh, baby, we got our own thing. We got our own thing. We don't need no rain. We ain't rich, but son of a, we're a hillbilly king and queen. Life don't seem so hard with you beneath the stars, 'cause we're growing four-leaf clovers in the yard.
There ain't nothing that he can't fix. He's a hard-headed son of a. We got married on the Georgian line. Watch out, ladies, this one is mine. He works hard and just don't quit, even if his pants don't fit. Lord, he'll be the death of me. Baby, we've got our own thing. We eat good like you ought to do. Mashed potatoes and gravy too. Picnic table out in the back. He's only had one heart attack. Pecan pie beneath the moon. Paper plates and plastic spoons. We're as close as two sardines. Baby, we got our own thing.
We got our own thing. We don't need no rain. We ain't rich, but son of a, we're a hillbilly king and queen. Life don't seem so hard with you beneath the stars, 'cause we're growing four-leaf clovers in the yard. Holding hands and touching minds,
Smoking grass and feeling fine.
we're as crazy as a cuckoo clock.
We're the weird ones on the block.
Stuff some cash down in her bra.
I even like my mother-in-law.
She's my backwoods beauty queen.
Baby, we
Got our own thing. We got our own thing. We don't need no rain. We ain't rich, but son of a, we're a hillbilly king and queen. Life don't seem so hard with you beneath the stars, 'cause we're growing four-leaf clovers in the yard. Yeah, we're growing four-leaf clovers in the yard. Well, I wanna take a ride in the wheelbarrow in your mind. Take me all around to the thinking places where you spend your time. Ain't no place I'd rather go. You're a funny little critter and I love you so, man. I wanna take a ride in the wheelbarrow in your mind. I come and sit down with me in a rocking chair. Coffee pot is nice and hot, we can sit in our underwear. Tell me about the dreams you had last week, swimming all around with the fish in the sea. Come and sit down with me in a rocking chair. Let's fly up to the moon. We can get away for a couple of days or even just an afternoon. Baby looking up and we're looking down. We can wave to the people in my hometown now. Come on, baby, let's bury in your mind. Take me all around to the thinking places where you spend your time. There ain't no place I'd rather go. You're fun to little critter and I love you so. And I'll take a ride and we'll bury in your mind. Yeah, I wanna take a ride and we'll bury in your mind.
got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you for being with me. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question for this week, a brand new one. Why do so many people commit suicide? Why do so many people commit suicide? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. If you're out and about, traveling around, it is 4th of July today. So if you're out and about and you know, people are trying to distract you, whatever going on, you're upset because you're stuck in the airport, you can't get back home or you can't get to where you want to go, and you're like, what the? You can listen to the show anywhere in the world by calling the listen line at on your iPhone or iPad at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. Don't forget to follow us, JLP Talk on Twitter and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Ring the bell, hit the like button, subscribe, and y'all know what to do. Amazing, huh? Not only is it the 4th of July today, it is Country and Western Tuesday.
And it is the saga of 13 separate colonies that united to form the most just and virtuous republic ever conceived. On this day, 243 years ago, our founding fathers pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to declare independence and defend our God-given rights.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
If you notice, July just feels white.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's my first time seeing that. It is nice. Put together by the Anchor Baby, I guess, right? Oh, Sean did that. Talented Sean, my audio engineer and one of the experts on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Amazing. Hassan, not Sean, but Hassan. Sorry. They all look alike. Hassan. So it is Country and Western Tuesday. It is the 4th of July. It is White History Month. The 4th of July is a perfect way to really, really get it going. we have some new designs for the shirts too. We're trying to wait for that, but you can order those, by the way, by going to whitehistorymonth.store. Amazing Designs, whitehistorymonth.store. But it is White History Month. And looking at that video almost bring tears to you with gratefulness. I was thinking about, and we celebrate, for those who don't know, maybe listen for the first time, this is our 6th year of celebrating White History Month. And I started it, or we started, it take more than one, because I noticed that the haters of God and of America are doing all they can to erase the true history of America. The true history of America. And only a few, if any at all, there are a few people who are working to prevent that from happening. Because most people are afraid, they have so much fear due to having anger. They have inner conflict and fear that they are afraid to stand up to the devil within and the devil without, inside of others. They are afraid to face him. And as a result, evil people, and the human heart is evil until it is born again of the Father. Evil people who are children of the devil, they want to erase true history. I remember in the school that I went to down in Sweet Home, Alabama. And I wasn't like I didn't really like school. I just liked the fun part of school. I didn't like sitting in the classroom and all that. I never liked that. But I did it because I had to do it. And I liked the fun part of school. And when I saw Donald Trump there on that, giving that talk about America, it reminded me of some of the school teachers that I had when they would teach about history and how America came about. They were black. The school that I went to were all black. They were black. And it was black until the last year that I was there. They integrated the school thing. But the teachers, when they would teach about the 4th of July and how America came about, they did it with such an appreciation and love for the formation of this country. And it stuck with me, just the appreciation they taught us, the class, about America. And these people were black. They were not enemies of America. They didn't hate God. They didn't hate good. They didn't hate America. They appreciated America. And I want you to know that this was at a time, during a time when Jim Crow existed and all that. And when black people understood, for the most part, you always had some crazies, I guess, because of good and evil. But at a time, Jim Crow existed and all that. We had to work the plantation and all that. But they had a love and appreciation for the country because they understood that it was a battle between good and evil. And they pondered and they wondered what it must have taken for the men, white men, who founded and discovered and created the greatest country on this side of heaven, what that must have been like for them to create something out of nothing. To create something out of nothing. The hardships and the pain and the uncertainty and the doubts and the arguments, like human beings do argue when they get together, right? Because they disagree, but they kept going. What that must have been like for them. And so when they taught us about the formation of this country and the 4th of July, it was heartfelt. And so that stuck with me and a lot of other blacks who went along from those days. It wasn't like it is today. Black people hating America, no love, no appreciation, and liberal whites and these enemies of ours from other countries who are coming here illegally or overstaying their so-called visa. They don't have any love and appreciation and understanding about the hardship, what it took to create what was once the greatest country on this side of heaven. That appreciation is gone. And now you have enemies who are no good people. It's not like they're making anything better. I can see it if they were making it better. I guess I would be able to see it. But they're not. They're only destroying it and adding to the destruction. And these white men who came here, they were guided by God to create something out of nothing. Out of the darkness of nothing came the United States of America. And we should be grateful. We should be grateful and thankful rather than angry and hateful and evil and trying to destroy it. And the thing about it, if you notice, these people who are trying to destroy America, they're not offering up anything that's better. Nothing that's better. And this whole idea of racism and slavery and Jim Crow and critical race and equity and all that, it's just mess. It's just evil. And it's unfortunate that the white men of today don't have the same type of fortitude or courage or love to defeat the enemies of America for fear of being called racist or some material thing being taken away from you. It's just unfortunate that white men are not standing up and saying no to the enemies of America. The enemy is within. The enemy is within you because you are your world. You are the world. You are the universe. You are each individual, right? And so you have an enemy within that want to destroy the world within you, and you have an enemy without that's inside of others that want to destroy America without. And unfortunately, white men, not just in America, but in Europe and other great places where white people built, they don't have it anymore. Just imagine, they don't have it anymore to continue what the goodness that white man who founded this country had, but they don't have it to say no to hold on to what we do have. It's crazy, but I understand it. Anyone that has anger has fear. Anyone that has anger is evil. Anyone that has anger is subject to the world. They're in it, but they're in it and they're subject to it. They're of it. And they don't see reality. They live in a false illusion of life, not knowing that God is with them and that God is within. It's unfortunate. Happy 4th of July, anyway, for those who really appreciate it. According to military.com, that was amazing opening there with the Great White Hope, by the way. And Hassan put, you see Jesse sitting on his horse today, Country Western Tuesday, wrapped in the flag and appreciating the country. Amazing! And remind you, for those who don't know, I grew up in Alabama. I grew up in the 40s and late 40s, end of the 40s, 50s, 60s and all that. And black people loved the country. We used to celebrate the 4th of July without even thinking about we were divided from the whites. It was black people liked getting together. And we got together and people would come home that lived in the areas there. They came home for the 4th of July. And we would go out to the Sometimes in back of a church or something, and have picnics and dancing and eating good old barbecue. I hear that white people eat hot dogs, but we were eating barbecue and some hot dogs too. And we just had a hootenanny of a time. Nobody thought about being depressed or stupid idea of slavery or Jim Crow. They would come home for the 4th of July, those who had left. We would have a good time. And when 4th of July day passed, we went back to normal. That's gone now due to evil hearts. The human heart is evil. According to the scripture, the human heart, anyone that has anger is a murderer. They're of their father, the devil. According to just a little good history about what the white man did, from military.com, over time, the colonists began to resent being under the thumb of Great Britain. They resented being under the thumb of Great Britain. On July 4th, 1776, the colonies claimed their independence. They claimed their independence. An event that eventually led to the formation of the United States. God bless the United States of America. It's just hard to, it's like God gave us a gift. And in the good old days, we call it the greatest gift on this side of heaven. And what do we do? Well, not me. What are most people doing? It's taking that gift and giving God the finger. Like, we don't want this. We're going to destroy and create junk from the devil. Because there is no gray area. Either you're of God or you're of the devil, the spirit of evil. And the people who hate America, the people who are trying to destroy it, are of evil. Their souls are wicked. Their souls are wicked. This is a day to be grateful, to be thankful to God and to the white men who went through hell to create what was once upon a time called the greatest country on this side of heaven. And again, open your eyes, wake up, and see that the people who are trying to destroy it, they're not offering you anything that's good. Nothing. It's all junk, and it only leads to more destruction. And you're quiet and pretending that they're offering something better, and they're not. This is White History Month. And we're having White History Month to remind you of the greatness and what it took to make that so in this country, the United States of America. I was dumbfounded when I saw the military, the police force, the government, so-called leadership, right, of America, sitting back, licking boots, and watching evil Black Lives Matter people and radical liberal white Antifa deliberately tearing down statues, monuments, and flags, and burning down buildings, everything that will remind us and generations to come the greatness of America. They sat back and did nothing. Absolute nothing. And they all knew it was a lie. It was a made-up lie why the people were destroying it. They knew it wasn't going nowhere. They knew it wasn't going to make a change in America for the good. And they sat back and just allowed evil, non-grateful children of the devil, children of the lie, to destroy America. Even that dumb, stupid Nikki Haley, so-called wannabe president, right? went along with Black Lives Matter and others and took down the Confederate flag. And now she want to be the president? Do you want more destruction? She has proven that she hates America. She does not love America. She doesn't love it at all. She's on an ego trip, thinking she's equal to a man, and now she want to run president. She can't even run her own family if she have. I don't know if she has one or not. But I would suggest do what you like and what you want, of course, suffer and die, that you wake up as an individual to see what's happening in my country. Happy 4th of July for what it's worth. I see nothing but misery in America today. I see men and women waking up, though. A few are looking at themselves, and they're overcoming, of all races around the world. But majority are living in hell, walking dead. Eyes open, but they cannot see. God bless America, and God bless the men, white men who resented being enslaved and decided we're going to fight for freedom, and made it possible for even the haters of white people in this country to be here. They should have, it was different. The country, it was different. It was a different country back then. According to military.com, when the Declaration of Independence was signed, 2.5 million people were living in the newly free nation. There was only 2.5 million. They should have left it at that and just had white babies and build on that. Close the borders, don't let nobody in. America was still... We need white babies. It was still, we need more white babies. It would still be American. If they had just said, okay, we got the Declaration of Independence, we have signed it. There are 2.5 million people in America today. Let's shut the borders down, let's put walls up, build a strong military, don't let anyone else come in. And have a strong, if they want to come visit, we're going to make sure and keep an eye on who they are, and when 2 weeks are up, they got to go home. You notice how when you have family members or friends come and visit, after 2 weeks, they start to destroy your house. They don't want to leave. They start to eat up all your food. You go in your refrigerator thinking you have some sweet potato pie left, and it's gone. Where's my sweet potato pie? Oh, I ate it. Well, you're supposed to be gone like a week ago. They let these people in, and these people ate up all the sweet potato pie. What? They overstayed their visit, and they ate up all the sweet potato pie. And they ain't got no job. They got free stuff. When will you take control of your life? Where else will you go where you allow the enemies of America to destroy America? Where are you going? They're not making anything better. They're building hoods along the way. Crime and all that kind of stuff. It's not in their nature. They live in an abnormal nature. They have not been born of the new nature, which is of God. They live in an unnatural nature, which is of evil, of the devil. Military.com is reporting that in 2020, the United States had a population of about 332 million people. Can we go back to 2.5 million and start all over again? And maybe the white man see what to do to prevent it from getting to where it is. Leave the blacks in Africa. Leave the Allahu Abba people over in Allahu Abba land, wherever that is. Leave the liberal Jews in Israel. Leave the Indian squaws out on the reservation and make America great again. God and his son, Jesus, must be sitting there on this day shaking their heads. A gift from God is being destroyed because human beings are in a fallen state and afraid to stand up for what is right. Can you imagine 2.5 million at the time they signed the Declaration of Independence? And black people used to love America. You didn't even hear them complaining about Jim Crow law. We saw the signs, we saw that, but people still went about their way and did their thing because they were not enslaved psychologically, mentally. They were free within. And so they never felt like they were enslaved outwardly because the kingdom of heaven, the real person lived from within. According to military.com, in 2020, the United States had a population of about 332 million people. This is from the military.com. Just think about that. I just want to rub that in a little bit. When they signed the Declaration of Independence, according to military.com, there were 2.5 million people living in the newly free nation. And that's about the population of Houston now. Can you imagine that? In the whole nation, it was the size of Houston. Let freedom ring. Something went wrong somewhere by somebody. It's really interesting to me to see a whole nation allow a few evil people to destroy it. Afraid to stand up because they are protecting a false image of themselves. They're afraid of losing stuff. You're going to lose your stuff anyway. It's going to come and go anyway over reputation. Or don't want to be called a name. All that stuff come and go anyway. It fades away. It's not everlasting. One day you're not going to have your business. You're going to retire. It'll fade away. One day you won't have your house. You either die and somebody else live in it, or the house will fade away anyway. You want to sell it. You won't have a body. It'll fade away as well. What is there to be afraid of? Happy White History Month. July just feels white. 888-7753-773. A quick break. Back in a moment. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, It can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They are using them. And blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663. Wow. Wow. What a way to start White History Month, huh? I have to thank my staff here. Amazing job. I had nothing to do with that, folks. It was my first time seeing it, too. I'm like, what the? So I really, really appreciate my producer, Sean, the anchor baby, the American anchor baby, Nick, and Hassan, the anchor baby, the host of the American Anchor Baby Show, Monday through Friday at 12, and Fridays at 4 p.m. And the talented audio engineer, Hassan. I thank you all. And Hake, he always has something to say about something. He gonna have input when he's not even invited. The Hake Report. Thank you, Hake, of the Hake Report. Thank you, guys. What an amazing White History opening. We have some amazing T-shirts, by the way. Go to White History Month.stores. All right. A couple announcements. The Hake Report is coming up. Nice. Isn't that a beautiful shirt? July just feels white. Nice. I'm going to wear mine as soon as I get it. It's on the way, I'm told. Amazing. But anyway, the Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. The Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. from 9 to 11. And Hake is on fire. And you're going to notice he is a true American. He has on his American shirt today. Got a Confederate shirt. He ain't playing. In the face of Nikki Haley. And then at 12 noon, every Tuesday, Joel Friday TV. You black. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. I think we have okay. At 11 a.m. Pacific time, every Tuesday. And at 12 noon, the Anchor Baby, the American Anchor Baby Show. I can't wait to see what he's going to do today. Amazing. So don't forget, a busy day today. Happy 4th of July. And I want to just remind you, overlook the fake WhatsApp thing. We don't have a WhatsApp account. Somebody else pretended to be us. And you can support us at cash.app/bond JLP. All right. I want to just finish up. Happy 4th of July. Happy White History Month. July is White History Month. And so all month, I want to hear from you, your favorite American story. All right? Your favorite American story. I want to just finish up with what I'm saying about how it's sad that white men are afraid to stop the haters of America, the ungrateful, evil people who hate America, and yet these people have nothing better to offer. If you notice, they are tearing it down, but they're not rebuilding with anything that's good because it's not in them. And yet, white Americans, the men, sit back and let it happen. Another amazing story about America, according to the military.com. I can't get past that at one time, when the signing of the Declaration of Independence happened, there were 2.5 million people in the newly formed free nation. And that was about the size of Houston now, Houston, Texas. Man, it was paradise on earth. Now it's a mess. You got S-hole people from S-hole countries. And the border's wide open. The military.com is reporting that Americans eat 155 million hot dogs on July 4th. What the? Americans eat about 155 million hot dogs on July 4th. I remember as a kid, I loved hot dogs. I have my aunt when I would go up to Indiana, I would stay sometime with one of my aunts. And she used to always boil hot dogs and just give it on the regular white buns and put them on there and boil a hot dog. And it was so good. You like hot dogs or something?
Yeah, growing up, we used to have, I used to eat all beef hot dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. I think I'm going to run out and get me a hot dog now.
Yeah, I've been wanting to try Costco's hot dogs. Not to promote them, but there's...
Oh, those Costco hot dogs are good.
Well, there you go. There you go. That's what I've been hearing.
I used to go over there sometimes just for the hot dogs. And they had good pizza, too, sometimes. I'm not a real big old pizza fan person, but they had good pizza, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. So I might have to find out the truth about it.
Yeah. Made me want to rent out right now. Did you ever boil the hot dogs and just put them on the bread, on the bun? Or did y'all fry them, or how did you? Oh.
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
But
definitely on the white classic bread.
Yeah. And just take it out of the hot water, put it on there.
There it is.
Put a little ketchup or mustard. So you're not showing your little shirt today?
Oh, yeah.
What the?
Just keeping it classic.
Nice. Make America great again.
You know it.
Amazing. Sean is saying that he likes sauerkraut and mustard. I'm not a sauerkraut. I think that's how you say that. Person. I never liked that stuff. How about you?
It's, it depends if you're in like a real German vibe.
Oh, he's German?
I don't know, but...
He look like a German, huh? Hake is not a mustard fan. I'm not surprised. He probably think it's Moochie, just too... So Sean is part German, part Irish, according to Hake. So you think. But anyway, happy White History Month, folks. According to the military.com, America eat 155 million hot dogs on July 4th.
What the?
Who let the dogs out? And before I get to your super chats and phone calls, I want to give you an example of evil people who hate the country, who hate God. And rather than leaving and going back to Africa or wherever these people came from, they'd rather stay here and destroy America. I was on a show, a guest on another podcast yesterday, a show. It was a black show. What was his name, Nick? And I was thinking after King Legends talk, and I totally enjoyed the interview with him, the discussion with him. But I was thinking afterward, after I did the show, not because of anything he said, but I was just thinking about the blacks. And I was thinking that I used to say that if white people packed up and just, not even packed up, but just walked away and let the blacks have the country, oh, his name is Dion, and the show was called, his podcast is King Legend Talk. If white people would just pack their bag, not even pack their bags, but just left, blacks would turn America to a ghetto. I give them maybe a week now. Maybe even sooner than that, because I saw the destruction that the fallen Messiah, Barack Obama, and Big Mama Michelle brought upon America. And it was a mess. And now it's set up where, look what the radical Black Lives Matter did. It didn't take any time to destroy, right? And just think, if there were no white people here, this whole country would be a ghetto in about maybe a week or sooner. That is if the white people left their beautiful homes, left their cars, left their university, left the banks, and everything, doors wide open. Okay, blacks, y'all can have it. We're going to go and build another great country somewhere, maybe on the moon, or maybe on the flat earth, or the round earth, but we're going to leave and let you have it. It would be South Africa. Look around you, white folks, and look around you, the blacks who are waking up. I'm not just saying this. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm telling you what's really going on, because I know what the blacks was like prior to the Civil Rights Movement. And the Civil Rights Movement was one of the worst things that ever happened to the blacks other than abortion. But I want to give you an example of these evil people who hate God, hate America, and has nothing good to offer to make it better. I can see it a little bit, well, not really, but let's say I want to pretend it. If they were offering something better, but it's not in them, they don't know how. That's why they call white people white supremacy, because in their hearts and minds, they know that whites are superior to them. They know it, and they say it out loud. And I say it's not true, because if whites were superior to the blacks, they wouldn't let the blacks destroy their country. They wouldn't let them destroy something that white men came and went through hell and made happen. They won't allow it. And there are these black people who are saying that they ain't happy. The national anthem is not black enough. You got to know that anyone that's into their color, they have some serious mental issues. You got to know that. That alone should make you say no to these people. Anybody that's into their color, you know they're blind. They're lost. They are saying the national anthem is not black enough. This is from The Guardian. If you could imagine an anthem for today, if you could imagine an anthem for today, what would it be and how would you do it? That's the question at the center of anthems. Anthem. That's the question at the center of Anthem. A Hulu documentary on the journey to make a song that reflects the country tortured soul. Watch this from Hulu.
You'll never understand what it feels like.
Music brings people together.
Everybody has a story. We need something that connects people.
Our greatest currency is culture.
It has to progress.
How can you universalize the experience of being American?
A bunch of crap. That's all it is. A bunch of crap. Evil, lost people. Emotional people. Emotional people are lost people. All that you just saw was nothing but junk. An illusion. Struggle, challenging, just a bunch of emotional stuff. And if you're into into emotions, which are of the devil, by the way, you'll fall for that crap right there because they make it sound so good and look so that, and you'll fall for it. Like, oh, and you see they got nothing but white women following their crap. And the white man sit back and let that happen. White men, y'all need to wake up. This is your country. You built it and invited everybody else, which was a big mistake. Never let your family members stay with you more than 2 weeks. This is what happens. However, when the Arabs sold the blacks to America and they were used by other blacks and white people to work for them, when the job was done, you should have given them back to the Arabs. Okay, Arabs, y'all can come and take them home. They got their last paycheck or meal or whatever. So this Hulu document goes on to say, the article on this Hulu document goes on to say, from the Guardians, only in America is the most influential songwriter a slave-owning trial lawyer with exactly one hit. Worse, Francis Scott Keys stole the melody from the British pub hymn without school drills or Whitney Houston on the constant drumbeat of patriotism. The banner reverts to scribbles on a page. So they're saying that they're putting down Francis Scott Key, saying that he stole the melody from British pub hymn, a British pub hymn, and they without drums and stuff of Whitney Houston and then the black. This is so stupid I can't hardly talk about it. See, white people, they don't have anything, they're not offering anything better, and you know it. They know it, you know it, and I know it. So they're saying that Francis Scott Key stole the melody from a British pub hymn without school drills or Whitney Houston or the constant drumbeat of patriotism. The banner reverted to scribbles on a page. Ungrateful black people. As though Whitney Houston was the only thing making the anthem great. Where's Whitney Houston now? She did. I rest my case. What a shame. Before we go to this break and I take some calls and stuff, here is Ryan Coogler, an executive. It's a Coogler, an executive producer on this film talking about America. Watch it. It's just a bunch of nothing. Watch this from Salon.
Why are so many people still willing to cling to that song knowing what's attached to it.
Everybody has their individual reasons, you know.
Right.
If we were to try to like blanket it and simplify it, you know, I think that this country, like many others, but maybe more than a lot of others, because it's so young, it's very tied to specific narratives. You know what I mean? Like there's a story of America. There's the American dream. You know, like there's, you know, a lot of these things that, and there's just stories that we tell ourselves. Some people tell a different story about the place, and some people, they can sleep easier with a certain story. You know, everybody got a different perspective on that story. You know,
like, yo, the song is not, read it, it's not a good song.
Yeah.
Like, I would have asked it, like, so you telling me you think Francis Scott Key is better than Lil Baby? Like, the out of here. Like, yo, evolution, yo, what we've done, you know what I'm saying? Did you guys change your position on the original Anthem when working on the film? Was there any, like eye-opening type of situation where, like, you just found yourself wanted to, like, stand up at a baseball game and go like
Nah, man. I mean, I'm a black man from Oakland, approaching my 40s. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a national symbol of this country that I don't have a complicated relationship with. You know, it's something I wrestle with since I was born. You know,
it don't feel like it's yours. It don't feel like it's mine. You from Oakland. I'm from Baltimore. You from LA. I don't feel like it's mine.
A bunch of nothing, lost souls. Up there yapping about nothing, talking loud and saying nothing. Lost black males. That's all they are, that's all they're worth. Nothing to offer. Hassan, tell me that guy made the Black Panther. Which one?
Just the Marvel film.
Which guy made that?
Oh, Ryan Coogler.
Which one with Ryan Coogler?
The one on the left.
Oh, the way far left?
The middle.
Oh, what a mess. Why don't they just leave? They're free to leave, you know, and go somewhere where they think is better. Oh, there is no other place better. These people should not be in our country. They have nothing to offer. And no wonder the black family is suffering. Look at those lost males. I got to take a break. 2 more hours to go. When I come back, your super chats and phone calls and everything. Happy White History Month. Happy 4th of July. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
Another black mass shooting. This one not in Baltimore, as it was on Sunday or whenever that was, Saturday. But this one was in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Brotherly love. Terrible. 5 killed, 2 children injured. And the Supreme Court's abortion decision, how is it affecting the adoption world, the adoption industry? I don't know. Maybe they should just stop having sex out of wedlock. Am I right? I think I'm right. And there was a Texas man who was found after 8 years of being missing back when he was a teenager. Now he's a 25-year-old, I guess. He's unresponsive and nonverbal, meaning he's not speaking either. Terrible. And Robert De Niro's grandson died at 19 years old. He was a budding actor. Now he's dead. Rest in peace. This is the end of hour 1 of the JSLE Peterson Show. It is Country and Western Tuesday, Independence Day, the 4th of July, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for hour 2. Jesse Lee will be right back. The lines are full, guys. We will get to your calls and super chats and more fun stories. But first, Hake news, not fake news. 5 people killed, 2 children injured in a Philadelphia shooting. And far-left extremist outlet NBC News said 5 people were killed, 2 children injured when a gun male opened fire at a Philadelphia neighborhood yesterday. Around 8:30 p.m. local time, I guess, police said. The children, boys ages 2 and 13, were stable at the hospital. Police believed that the dead were ages 20, 22, and 59. One person maybe between 16 and 21. And later they found a 31-year-old man dead. What a mess. A whole bunch of vehicles were struck, by the way. The suspect is in custody, or a suspect, right? Maybe a second suspect started shooting, too. A 40-year-old, and they grabbed him, I think. A 40-year-old male had a was he black? We don't know. Probably must have been black, as if it was white. They probably would have mentioned that, right? Because they go after the whites hard. Had a semi-automatic AR-15 rifle, they claim. NBC says that that's a weapon initially developed for military use. Duh. A handgun, a ballistic vest, body armor maybe, and a police scanner. The article says that the suspect allegedly opened fire and continued shooting even as officers pursued him, which makes it sound black to me. I could be wrong. He finally stopped when he was cornered in an alley and he surrendered without incident. After that, right? The injured, after the incident, prior incidents, the injured were described, like I said, as boys 2 and 13 stable at the hospital. Philadelphia, did you know, has a black female Philadelphia police commissioner, Danielle M. Outlaw. And she's kind of light-skinned. Might be a radical. I'm not sure. How the Supreme Court's Dobbs decision on abortion is affecting adoption. According to far-left extremist outlet NBC News, when Madeline Ballinger discovered she was pregnant for the second time, she didn't know whether she could take on another child. In September 2021 AD, the month that Texas's ban on abortions after 6 weeks took effect, and 20-year-old Madeline Ballinger was 5 weeks pregnant. That left her with a few days to decide whether to keep the baby or kill the baby, terminate the pregnancy. She opted to carry the baby to term. 2 days after she gave birth to a boy, she made an agonizing decision. The hardest thing I've ever done, most difficult thing I'll ever do, on whether to have put it up for adoption, right? Put the boy up for adoption. Before the Supreme Court decision, Roe v. Wade, overturned Roe v. Wade, anti-abortion activists, pro-lifers, right, argued that doing so would lead more women with unwanted pregnancies to turn to adoption. Maybe they should just stop having sex out of wedlock, like I said. More than a year after the Supreme Court's Dobbs decision, its impact on the adoption landscape, multifaceted, too complicated to measure, and too early to tell on for some. But there are significant upticks, supposedly, some adoption agencies say, on the number of infants placed in adoptive care. In swing states with vulnerable, by the way, Democrat senators up for re-election in 2024, the Democrat Party, Demon Rat Party, is already hammering the likely opponents over so-called abortion rights. There is no such thing as abortion rights. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
Powerball. Out of the way, Slick. Oh, baby. Come on. I got to win $1 million.
Remember to win the jackpot, correctly match 5 white balls plus the red Powerball. Our first number is a 7.
White human beings thought there's a world here and we own it because they are so corrupt. You know, there's
number 4. And next up is a...
It won't surprise you to hear that I find the SCOTUS ruling on affirmative action yesterday to be unbearably and unspeakably awful. You are a fucking pawn of white supremacy.
Come on! The schmuck doesn't know what's happening.
25. There's just one more white ball, and here it is.
I have a major announcement right now. So the whole month is White History Month from now on. Happy White History Month.
It's White History Month. I'm gonna celebrate with my friends. It's White History Month. So be sure to tell everyone. There will always be different months to celebrate. But this month's gonna be White History.
Amazing. I'm overwhelmed right now. Thank you guys. The Anchor Baby put that together, right? That's from the Anchor Baby. Hassan did the first hour. The Anchor Baby did that one. What the? Beautiful. And those trashy people complaining. And they have nothing to offer. They are jealous of the white man. That's jealousy. Happy White History Month. Happy 4th of July. July just feels white. I do these cameos, shout-outs for people. And the last week or so, I've been doing several birthdays for White History Month. A lot of people born in White History Month. Even Hake were born in July. What a time to be born. Cameo.com for shout-outs. Anyway, welcome to the show. I am Jesse Lee Peterson, rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man, uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question, why do so many people commit suicide? Why do so many people commit suicide? Why? I want to know. We have every way to watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, traveling or hanging out at a hot dog festival or something, barbecue, you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on JesseLeePeterson.com. No, Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram and JLP Talk on Twitter. Hit the like button, ring the bell, and blah, blah, blah. All right? It is Country and Western Tuesday.
And it is the saga of 13 separate colonies that united to form the most just and virtuous republic ever conceived. On this day, 243 years ago, our founding fathers pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to declare independence and defend our God-given rights.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Amazing. If you notice, July just feels white.
Yeah.
Happy 4th of July. Happy White History Month. Amazing. America. Sweet, sweet America. You know, God done share his grace on thee. Amazing. Let me go quickly to the phone, busy phone. I know I went the first hour without taking a call or super chat, but it's White History Month. What the? It's the 4th of July. What the? And all the haters of America, you got to go. Goodbye. Go over to South Africa and live there in your mess. And go back to the Allah Abba countries and live there in your mess. And back to Mexico if you don't like the country. James is the first time call out of Texas. James, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
Hi, James. How are you?
I'm well, sir. How are you, sir?
All is well. Happy White History Month, James.
Oh, happy White History Month to you too, Jesse.
Thank you. America.
I'm a mental health counselor from Texas.
You a what?
I'm a therapist. I'm a mental health counselor.
Are you on like a speakerphone or something?
No, I'm not on speakerphone. Can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead. I hear you now.
Okay, I'm a mental health counselor from Texas. I do psychotherapy.
Let me ask James, are you on a Bluetooth or anything?
No, sir, I'm not on Bluetooth.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so what do you think about the mental health profession as a whole?
I think you have to be mentally ill to go to a mental health professional.
You have to be mentally ill to go to a mental health professional?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think it's a made-up thing. Those people serve no good purpose at all. It's just about them making money and getting a false ego feeling by calling themselves a mental health therapist. They're lost. They're blind.
What kind of counseling do you do, Jesse?
I show people how to overcome the idea of mental illness.
And
how old are you, James?
I am 26.
Oh, I show people how to overcome and see that the issue is a spiritual issue. And so I point them back to the source that will cause them to live a spiritual life rather than an insane so-called mental life.
Okay. What's the difference between what you do and what I do as a mental health counselor and the counseling that you do? I
don't really know what you do exactly, but I know that the so-called mental health therapy people, they think that it's a physical issue. They don't know that it's a spiritual issue. And so what they do is end up giving the person the wrong advice and then giving them medication and attaching false names to the issue. They don't see that it's a spiritual issue. They say that it's HDD or PhD or STD or something like that.
Okay.
They don't know that. Do you show the people that it's a spiritual issue?
Most often it is.
Do you show the clients that?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Most often they're able to arrive at that conclusion after.
Yeah. Are you a Christian?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you are. And so have you overcome your anger?
Yes, sir. I used to be a very angry person.
Good, man. So did you go and forgive your mama?
Yes, actually. I didn't speak to her for most of my life. I actually didn't meet my mother until I was 24. Funny you should ask.
And so how did it go when you went to her and forgave her?
Well, she came to me and asked for forgiveness, odd enough.
But
and at first I didn't know if I was in a place to forgive her, but it didn't take me long to realize that forgiveness was a natural state and that this harmony between your parents is not natural. It's not of God. It's not the way that people are supposed to live.
Right.
And people who live estranged from their parents don't get to live a very fulfilling life. They have to look for meaning elsewhere.
Have you heard of Dr. Mark McDaniel?
Mark McDaniel?
No, Donald McDonald.
No, sir.
I had him on the show once, and he was a guest on my show, I think a few times, really. So maybe you could be of help to them, James, since you know that it's a spiritual issue and not a physical one.
Yeah. Well,
Are
Jesse,
you able to be honest with the people that you counsel with?
Yes, Jesse. Am I able to use a little profanity on your show?
No.
Okay. I won't. As out of respect for you, I won't do that. But I will say there is a line that I use when I introduce myself to my clients, and that's I never BS my clients.
Nice.
And that is, people can handle cold, hard truths a lot better than they can handle being lied to by professionals.
That's right, man.
So I've got to say, Jesse, if you don't mind my saying, your summary, your perception of the mental health profession, it doesn't shock me. I've heard that summary from other people, and I can see why counselors have earned that reputation for us. I was very careful to select a university that was not going to restrict my studies. I wanted to actually learn actual behavioral science and not some left-wing ideology. So I attended a Christian university in order to achieve my master's in counseling. And so when I counsel, I don't necessarily always counsel Christians, but I live in Texas, so a lot of people are Christians, and whether they say they're Christians or not, it does usually come down to either a spiritual or existential reason as to what went wrong in their life.
I don't always counsel Christians. I counsel with everybody. It's been amazing to me the people and the issues that they've been dealing with that I've been able to counsel and to help them overcome. I've counseled. I mean, it's just been amazing. But it showed me how busy the devil is and the type of situations that he brings up on people because they live in their imagination and they identify with the devil rather than God. And they're thinking that their situation is who they are and they've been lied to. It's just been amazing to see that. Well, so James, let me ask. Do you do you work for yourself or you work for someone else?
Right now I work for a public agency.
And so if they knew that you were telling the people the truth and really helping them, would they fire you?
No.
Don't say where you work, but would they fire you if they knew you were telling the truth?
No, I'm very blessed right now to work with a supervisor who is also a Christian. And,
good, man.
He's been counseling. He's in his 70s, so he's seen the changes in the profession, and he's there to counsel. He's not there to preach ideology. He's not there to do politics. He's there to actually see changes in people's lives. And in public agency, people come to us on a usually a tax-funded basis if they don't have insurance, and so we have some guidelines, like they have to show up for session, they have to show some progress, they have to have actual goals. So
nice.
People can't, they don't just come to us to complain about like having to wait too long in the nail salon or they got a dent on their Ferrari, stuff like that. They usually have some real issues, and if they're not serious about counseling, then we have to let them go and move on to the next referral.
Yeah. And the reason I ask that because over the years I've counseled with people who are into they're like mental health, so-called therapists or professional, and they know that what they're doing and what other so-called therapists are doing it's not helping the people, and so they come to me and they get the help, but they're afraid to go and help the people they work with, because they're afraid that the company they work for, their boss may get them fired if they dealt with it in a spiritual way. Because most companies don't really want or know how to help the people. They're just really doing it to make the money. They're not trying to help the people.
Yeah,
so I'm glad to know you. I'm glad to know you're out there, James. What the?
Thanks, Jesse. I appreciate you saying that. I'm a very recent viewer of your show. I just discovered your content within the past couple of weeks, so I've been kind of watching those Savage compilations and a couple of other interviews, and you're an interesting guy, Jesse.
Amazing. You black?
No, I'm not.
No, I am.
Oh, yes, you're blacker than the Ace of Spades.
That's right. Well, James, happy White History Month, man, and I'm glad that you called, and maybe one day when you can, we'll have you on the show or something.
Oh, that'd be cool, Jesse.
Yeah. So, thanks for calling, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Keep it up. I hope you do it a long time.
Have you? Someone want to know, what does he think of the silent prayer? You know about my silent prayer?
No, I haven't got to that yet. Can you kind of run that by me real quick?
Yeah, go to www.silentprayer.video, and I recommend you give it a try and let me know what you think, because what it does, it causes you to slow down so the truth can catch up with you and bring you out of the darkness into the light.
Okay.
And you still can do your little hooping and hollering and stuff, and then when you're done hooping and hollering at God, be still and know Him.
Okay. Can I ask you one last quick question, Jesse? I know you're a busy guy. You've got other callers.
Yes.
Were you on the Steven Crowder show at one point?
I don't know. Was that? Yes.
Okay, that was really cool. What was it? I mean, I know you do a lot of interviews, so they might blur together, but that's another show I really like. Did anything about that experience kind of stand out as different from other interviews that you've done?
You know what, James? I can't respond because I really don't remember. I'm just being told that I was on there, but I remember. But I'll look at it, and because I was told that he never put it out, we put it out. For some reason, he didn't put it out, and so I'll take a look at it and comment on it for you.
Okay, that's really cool, Jesse. Thank you so much.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th and happy White History Month.
You too.
All right, buddy. Amazing. I don't remember that show. What the? But I am being told I was on there. They didn't put it out. We put it out. Amazing. Super chat. Super. There's one line open. 888-7753. 888-77 Jesse. So I'm being told about the Steven Crowder thing. You mentioned White History Month to him. It was funny. He didn't disagree necessarily, but he definitely started sweating. I don't remember that interview. I wonder why he didn't put it out.
I don't know.
I just watched it last night.
Oh, you did? How was it?
It was great.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And Steven Crowder is a YouTuber too?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, okay.
I actually watched.
He's the reason why so many people are banned and stuff, because he made a gay guy mad, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Does he have fear?
I don't know. He seems like he might have fear.
Because I wonder why he didn't put it out. What the? What are you about to say?
Yeah, what I was watching last night actually was Sibo and Snappa, the couple you interviewed on Fallen State.
Right.
They were watching you on the Crowder show and reacting to it.
What?
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
It was nice.
I don't remember. I'm going to have to watch it so I can comment on it for James.
I just remember that he kept on like having his finger over his mouth, like preventing from laughing. And then there was this guy who's his board operator at the time called Not Gay Jared. Funny guy. And the camera would go to him, and he'd be like laughing in the camera because he's chuckling at what you say. Some people took that as disrespectful, but I don't know.
Is Steven conservative or liberal?
He's relatively conservative. He's supposed to be really conservative and a Christian, but he's Canadian.
He live in Canada?
Well, no, he lives in America.
Why are you frowning on it?
Just being kind of playfully disrespectful. Should we get to the super chats?
Super chat.
I mean, this is a great 3-shot. I mean, look at this.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
You got. This sums it up.
This is some white appreciation here.
All the way.
I'm telling you.
It looked like when there were only 2.5 million.
Indeed. And none of us got along even then.
I know.
I snuck in there.
Nice. It is a beautiful picture.
The Muslims have always been a part of our history, said Obama.
You got a black and a white and a Allah Akbar.
Move over to your... Okay, there you go.
Who, me?
Yeah. Nice.
Just in case someone wants to frame this in the future.
So move over to my what?
To your... Looks like your right. Your right. There you go.
Sean told you about that.
Nice.
I know. He told me to shut up about that.
Right.
But
Sean,
he said
yell at him.
I told him, but anyway.
Right.
All right. Super chats, right?
Yes, super chat.
Well, thank you. Yesterday's top contributors on D Live: Mav, Angel, Henry Ford Lives, God Shaves, Wrinkle Hands, Bing Bong, Games for Rec, Goyim Defender, Gory 1M Defender, Kid Combo 1, Diane D, and Wolf 336. Appreciate you guys.
Nice. Thank you.
Couple of super chats. D Live Diamonds. Evgeny Crosby says, "Happy 4th of July to all the real patriots out there." I assume he says there.
Thank you. Amazing.
God Shaves gave a diamond. Trump's lineage goes back from the line of Jesus.
That's right. Let me see what the Great White Hope has to say today. I have no idea, but I'll check.
Fox and Friends in the morning, they're very honorable people.
Amazing. The Great White Hope. Thank you.
Lin Yen Chin on Streamlabs, that's JesseLeePeterson.live. BLM, that's Black Lives Matter. Antifa, Black History Month, and Worship of Broken Sexuality, which he calls the so-called homosexuality, are all depopulation mess. It's mama's way, the way of insecurity, and the feel good about yourself, quote unquote, decorative delusion in births. It births.
What a mess. Thank you. And happy White History Month to you.
Yeah. Stan 60 Nan gave a Ninja Guinea. That's a generous donation on D Live. I just noticed, he says, I just noticed the JLP doll is riding a horse on that on a Mexican saddle, waving the U.S. flag. What the? And a surprised looking somewhat face, laughing face emoji with tears coming out, and a cowboy hat smiley face emoji.
Nice. Hassan put that together. It's deep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kid Combo 1 with a diamond. Trump, the only president that's family never owned slaves, he says.
Yeah. Ain't that something? George Bush, W. Bush family, Obama family on the side of his mama, Bill Clinton, or Hillary. What are those? Their family owned slaves. What?
Based.
What?
Based.
Who is that?
The slave-owning ancestors. They're the descendants are the ones who are ashamed.
That's right.
Yep. Being enlightened till I rise with a rumble rant. Morning, gentlemen. Happy Independence Day. I'll be sending up a mortar in recognition to the whites that created the greatest country on this side of heaven. Happy White History Month! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
Thank you, and happy White History Month to you, too. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Being enlightened till I rise. Morning, Jesse. Just wanted to let you know I got a new white Tacoma, which is, I believe, a truck. I don't want to dox him. And my wife named it July. Want to know why? Because it just looks white.
Nice. Thank you. Congratulations.
And 5 exclamation marks.
Great.
John WX25 on Streamlabs. JesseLeePeterson.live. New anthem. Yo, yo, yo. Hear what we say. We gonna bust a cap today. Then tonight we gon' do a drive-by. Skeet, skeet, skeet. Happy White History Month. Nathan's dogs on the grill.
Thank you.
I may have done that incorrectly, but...
What? Nah, thank you.
I did close to my best. Being enlightened till I rise says with a rumble rant.
You gotta know how to rumble.
Rumble.com/JesseLeePeterson. Me and Hassan got the same shirt. What the? Looking fresh, man. Best shirt.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you, man. I mean, in comparison to these three, it's really the least offensive.
Indeed.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Hassan's getting soft.
I know.
And I think that's all for now, guys. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you all. I do appreciate it. 888-7753-773. Dennis is a first-time caller out of New York. Let's see. Dennis, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How you doing?
All is well, Dennis.
We just wanted to say hello. My wife and I appreciate you. and we want you to keep doing what you're doing. Happy 4th of July. Happy White History Month. God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank you, Dennis. Same thing. God bless you and your wife, and happy 4th and happy White History Month. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
God
buddy.
bless.
God bless you. Amazing. July just feels white. You would think that every soul in America would be celebrating this month. Freedom. They say they want to be free, but yet they come to a free country and enslave themselves. This is why the people shouldn't be in our country, because they bring their environment wherever they go. They have become their environment, and wherever they go, they take that same old environment with them. They don't change. They have identified with the so-called environment. Let me go to Lee out of New Jersey. Lee, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Hey, Lee?
Yes, hello?
Hey, Lee, you're on the air.
Yes, I just want to say that I think having a new national anthem is a wonderful thing.
Are you black?
Yes.
Well, I'm not surprised.
I know, right?
I'm not
Why would I want
surprised.
an anthem that...
I'm not surprised that you would think that.
Why would I
Because
want
you
an
black.
anthem that... Why would I want an anthem that helped celebrate slaves who wanted freedom? I mean, that helped denigrate, actually, slaves who wanted freedom by fighting with the British. The British offered them freedom.
What?
That's part of our anthem in the third stanza. They say the hireling, or the slave.
So
Because the British offered some slaves freedom if they helped them fight, and actually gave them freedom after the Revolutionary War.
Hold on 1 minute. Sean, come and help me with this, 'cause I don't know what this woman talking about.
Hello?
I'm trying to get some help because you kind of off, and I'm not sure what you're saying.
The third stanza, there's 4 verses to the national anthem.
Hold on,
the third
1
one.
minute. My producer is here, Sean. Sean, this is a black person, and she
No, I'm an American of African descent, primarily African descent.
But did you say you like the new anthem?
No, I'm saying I think the concept of a new anthem is great. I didn't hear the new anthem, but I think the concept is great.
And why do you,
today,
just for Sean, say, and you black, right, out of New Jersey?
I'm an American of
you
primarily African descent.
And so you think the concept, just for Sean, in case he missed it, you think the concept of a new anthem is a good idea, you say?
Yes.
And tell Sean why you think it's great. 'Cause
it represents our country today, and also the third stanza of the U.S. national anthem is rarely ever sang, but it denigrates those people who happen to be enslaved that fought with the British because the British promised them freedom.
Hold on for a minute. Hold on. I'll let Sean respond to that when I'll let Sean respond to your traitor, shameful comments or statements. Back in a moment. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. Love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
She thinks I'm a little lazy. I think she's a little crazy. We like summer and we like spring, watching wrestling in the ring. She ain't shy, she speaks her mind, tough as nails and smooth as wine. We burn hot as kerosene. Baby, we got our own thing. She ain't skinny and I ain't tall, and that don't bother us at all. I run naked through the yard. She flash every police car, drinking wine and getting tired.
Amazing. Welcome back. Happy White History Month and happy 4th of July. The Hake Report coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. The HakeReport.com from 9 to 11. And at 11, Joel Friday. You black. At 11 every Tuesday. Joel Friday at 11 a.m. And at 12 noon, the amazing Anchor Baby. The amazing Anchor Baby at 12 noon. I mean, the American Anchor Baby. I said amazing. Same thing. The American Anchor Baby. Amazing. Amazing. At 12 noon Pacific time. And don't forget, Super Chatters, to get your donation and comments read out loud, go to JesseLeePeterson.live, JesseLeePeterson.live, or buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. And for personalized shout outs, I do them myself. Birthdays, celebrations, encouragements, congratulations, whatever the occasion is. Go to cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. So I want to go back to Lee out of New Jersey. Lee, are you a first-time caller?
No, I'm not a first-time caller.
Okay. And Lee is black, and Lee believes that...
I'm an American of primarily African descent.
Oh, you were born in Africa?
No, I said of primarily African descent. I'm an American of primarily African descent.
Oh, meaning that you were partly born in Africa and partly born in America?
I say some of my ancestors came from Africa.
And you know them?
No, I don't. My
Have you ever met anybody?
My grandfather met them.
Have you ever met anybody in America that came from Africa in your family?
I said I'm an American of primarily African descent.
Have you ever met any descent in your family from Africa?
I didn't meet the white man either. I didn't meet the white man either that I'm descended from either. But
have you ever met anybody in your family from Africa?
Have I ever met
descent from Africa?
My ancestors, some of them came from Africa, and some came from Europe.
Have you ever met any of them?
No, I haven't. My grandfather met them. My grandfather met them, though. My grandfather did.
I want Sean to respond to your...
Okay, that would be great.
I want Sean to respond to your idea that a new anthem idea is great.
Hey, Lee, how are you?
Hi.
So, are you proud of your skin color? Are you proud of your African heritage?
Of my primarily African heritage?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm proud that I came from a group of people and that we live here in the United States of America.
And so I didn't really understand what you were saying about the, national anthem, but I do know pride is a sin. What do you think about that?
Well, I think having excessive pride is a sin. I don't think being happy that you came from a group of people is necessarily being overly proud or lifting up a proud spirit saying that you're better than someone else. That's not what I'm saying. I say I am what I am, and I'm very glad that God made me that way.
But you didn't have anything to do with your ancestry or the color of your skin. That's just something that you were born with.
Yes, and that's a wonderful thing.
So isn't that something that's very silly to be proud of if it's something you had nothing to do
No,
with?
we're proud that God made the people that made me.
And
I'm very happy about that. Even the white people that made me, I'm proud of them too.
And
Except for not all of their deeds, I'm not proud of.
As
that
far as
goes with everyone, we're all people that make mistakes.
You know, as far as the anthem goes, we have this new like black national anthem, and we have the traditional anthem, and now we have this new anthem. If we're not all on the same page as a country, how are we ever going to get along?
Well, we weren't all on the same page when they had what they call our national anthem.
Well, you didn't answer the question.
Page.
You want to know how we get along if you're not
by
on
creating
the same
a new
page.
one that most people can agree with now.
But
we're in a new place. We're not. If you want to say we're bringing up the past, have you met Francis Scott Key? Why do we have to sing his words? Why can't we sing some words that people create today? That's a great thing.
And so if we create a new national anthem, and 50% of the country doesn't agree with the new national anthem, how is that going to bring us together?
I don't know, but the old one isn't.
And it should
So
be.
we would be in the same spot we are now. We wouldn't be any worse off.
So why create a dumb new anthem?
Well, the first one, like I said, they don't even sing the third stanza because that refers to enslaved people who were fought with the British because the British promised them freedom, where the people or the patriots that were fighting for their freedom just to turn around and deny that same freedom to others.
You said that's why they don't sing it?
Yeah, that's rarely sang the third stanza.
Are you saying that's the reason it's rarely sang?
No, I'm just saying it's rarely sang, but the third stanza does
Are you
refer to
saying
that.
that's the reason they don't do it?
I don't know why they don't do it, but what I'm saying is they don't sing. There is a third stanza that's rarely sang, and it refers to enslaved people who fought with the British.
I mean, you're talking about a part of the anthem we don't even include in the national anthem.
Oh, no. It's included. If you read the whole thing, it's there. They just rarely sing
In the
it.
national anthem as we sing it.
But I'm saying that's as we sing it, but that doesn't mean it's not there. When I go sing from the hymnal at church, sometimes they sing the first and the fourth verse, but they ignore the second and the third. But that doesn't mean the second and the third isn't there, and it's not part of our national anthem, because it is.
Well, it sounds like you've put a lot of thought into this. I would even venture to say you've put a little too much thought into much thought into this.
The whole thing is
Let me ask you, why should we give freedom to others? Why should we give freedom to others when we should fight for our own freedom?
No, what I was saying was about part of the national
No, but I asked you a
anthem.
question. Why should we give freedom to others? We should fight for our own freedom.
There's nothing wrong with that, but then you turn around and deny that same freedom to others is where I have the
Nobody
issue.
denied the freedom to others.
They did when they enslaved those people.
No, they didn't. Your issue with the slave issue is with the Allah Abba people and the blacks in Africa. White people had nothing to do with that. Why don't you go over there and argue with that?
What I'm saying
Why
is
don't
that
you
I'm
go
here,
over there
and
and
I'm dealing
argue
with
with
what's
the
here.
African?
I'm here and I'm dealing with what's here. So the Bible says, get the beam out of your own eye. The Bible says, get the beam out of your eye and then work on someone else's. So we're in the U.S. You're talking over me because you don't want your people to hear the truth. You said you're uniting people with truth, but you're talking over me
Thank you, Jesus.
because you're trolling. That's it. God bless you,
We appreciate your call, Lee. You know, when people talk about slavery, they have that idea of like, you know, the 0.01% of slavery that was chattel slavery where they got whipped and it was really awful. But 99% of slavery was families, you know, white people and black people getting along, families allowed to thrive. And the idea of slavery is the one that's pushed by the media, Hollywood, that it was all like, you know, these evil white slave owners whipping their slaves into submission.
But the issue is they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know how many slaves were whooped or not. They just been looking at these stupid black movies
Right.
who's setting them up. They don't know the numbers. They don't know how bad it was or wasn't. They don't know that black people own slaves as well. They don't know anything. They're just going by what these traders are telling them, and they are repeating it. These
Right.
race hustlers.
Yeah, and the whole founding of America, getting away from the British, was that promissory note that Martin Luther King talked about. That was unique in history. All men created equal.
Where Martin Luther King now?
Yep.
I rest my case.
Yep.
Amazing. Well, thanks for dealing with that black lady.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is my producer, Sean. Happy White History Month.
Thank you.
And Sean is like real white. He has no black blood. It's all white. Amazing. Let me go to Joe, a first-time call out of North Carolina. Hey, Joe, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Oh, man. Jesse, God bless you, brother.
Thank you.
Happy Freedom Day and happy White History Month.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Amazing.
Hey, man. Hey, amazing indeed. Look, man, I tell you, that last caller there kind of sums a lot of stuff up, right? I mean, it's almost like some people just can't realize that they're still in mental slavery.
Yeah, right. Absolutely, man.
You know? I mean, you talk about some of the history of slavery. So I got some parts of my family actually came over here and from the colonist days. I got some parts of my family, like my dad's father's father, actually was an Italian immigrant, came over, got his freedom, fought and died in World War One. Right?
Amazing.
So, my whole family, is all around. And then you got the Scots-Irish that came over here as indentured servants, pretty much slaves, right? But boy, I tell you what, they were happy to come here after the potato famine. It was a whole new world.
That's right.
Yes, sir. And I tell you, it just amazes me how many Americans, so-called Americans, don't realize how great they got it. I feel like if you don't like this country, maybe you should go somewhere else. I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
Why do you hate to say it?
Well, because you and I both are Christian, and that's one thing I kind of battle with is, my Christian aspect of it. But the fact of the matter is this country was founded on Christian morality, and we're falling away from that. So at some point, we do have to stand up, right?
When you say you're Christian ass for a part of it, what do you mean? I don't understand that.
Okay, well, all right. So this is a conundrum of life, right? We have the morality of our order that has been given us to God.
I know, but why do you hate saying they need to go somewhere else if they don't like it here? Why do you hate saying that as a Christian? Why do you hate saying that?
Because you're supposed to hate the sinner, but love the hate the sin, but love the sinner, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I guess our true goal here, Jesse, is try to convert them, try to show them the truth, right? And that's what you're doing every day, brother. And that's why I respect your show so much. You're gonna get callers like you just had that ain't never gonna hear what you're trying to say,
right?
But maybe you'll get that one. And so that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's the fight. I guess we got to keep on doing, right? We got to keep the good fight.
You're right, but two things. You're saying a lot, and the only reason I'm asking you these questions, yes, sir, is because I know a lot of Christians think like that, and it's not a right way of thinking. So that's what I'm asking. Why do you think you need to try to convert them?
Well, the same reason why that Jesus, through his work in my life, converted me from a sinner to being saved.
But he never tried to...
Because I was lost once. I was lost once, but I am found.
Right. But Jesus never tried to convert anyone.
That's true. Well, I don't know. I mean, you think about what he did with the woman at the well. He converted some people at the well. He converted the one Roman soldier at the crucifixion.
But he never tried.
Obviously, he converted.
He never tried to convert anyone. It wasn't in his mind that he would try to convert anyone.
He just did it. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
No. He only, those who saw where he was coming from, when they saw the truth in him, it was that truth that converted them from evil to good, right? But he never tried. That wasn't his plan or anything.
So I see you, brother. Now you're speaking some wisdom here. So you just act as you've been called to act, and don't worry about what falls afterwards.
Let the truth come through you, and you're not even because we cannot convert anyone. Even God cannot convert anyone that doesn't want to return to Him.
The paradox of free will.
Yeah. One. Yeah. And the paradox of loving good or loving evil, and most people love evil.
Nowadays, absolutely, brother. It's a fallen world, man.
Yeah. Have you forgiven your mother?
Oh, absolutely, man. I had typical family of the 80s. Both parents worked their asses off. Nobody was around. And, my dad kind of fell into some stuff and, fell apart from the family. And I did blame her for a while for not sticking with them. And I think it was probably about 15 years or so ago where, I realized we're all human. And I did forgive her. I've forgiven my father.
When you went and forgave her, what did she say?
This is what's unfortunate. She fell away from her faith due to his infidelity and stuff of that nature, and unfortunately, she didn't understand the value of what I was truly doing. But it wasn't about what she felt. It was me making sure that she knew that I loved her no matter what, and I forgave her for those circumstances.
So, what did she say when you went and forgave her?
When I said I forgive you for everything, she dismissed it as if it had no value. That's what she did.
But did it help you to forgive her?
Absolutely, right, because that was something that the devil was holding on in my heart. He like you said many times, he controls us with our anger, and our frustration.
And you said she fell away from her. What? Because
her faith. Her faith with God. Well, I've looked at it like this.
You said she fell away from faith in God because your father cheated on her?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
And why do you think that happened for that reason?
In my opinion, I think this happens a lot of times. We build our faith in the things around us and not truly in God. And when God pulls those things around us, these worldly things, he pulls them away. He tests us to see if we truly love him. And if we have all of our faith in these things in this world, and we live or die by them, when they're pulled away, the truth is revealed that we truly never really trusted him.
And so why do you think God tests us?
To get us closer to him.
No, God doesn't test us at all.
He tested Abraham, didn't he?
But he doesn't test us at all. He
tested Jesus in the garden. Right? I mean, he tests us so that, right?
No, God doesn't test us.
Okay.
And your mother never fell away from God because of whatever your father did. If your mother was never of God, you can't be born.
Okay, exactly. Okay.
You can't You can't be born of God and fall away. When you're born of God, there is no fall away because you have a new nature. You can't fall away from.
Hey.
Amazing call,
so now you're
Joe.
talking.
Go ahead.
Hey, brother, before you let me go, that is the mystery of the Holy Spirit, being born again in the Holy Spirit. When you have that, something changes in you forever. And you're absolutely right, brother. That is something. Something was revealed in her that had always been there.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
yep, you're absolutely right.
Your mother never knew God. And I don't know if she ever, because I don't know your mother. I'm not taught to her, but one thing for sure, you can't fall away. Once you're born again, it's like can you go back in your mama's womb and come out again?
No, sir.
Likewise, you can't be born of the Spirit and be unborn.
Amen, brother. Yeah. Amen. And that's the baptism of the fire of the Holy Spirit. And yes, sir. Well, I was one of those fair weather Christians. Put my suit took my suit out of the closet on Sunday. Was a good Christian, and then put that Christianity back in the closet with my suit on Sunday. But when I was born again, I gave my life to Christ. Everything changed, and there's no turning back.
Right on.
No turning back, brother.
Joe, thank you so much, buddy. I got to run because of time here. I got to run, and happy 4th and Happy White History Month.
Hey, happy 4th to you, man. Thank you for all your work, man. God bless you and all your people there, man. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Joe. You too. I appreciate it. Let me type. I typed a note, but I haven't gotten any response. Hold on. Amazing. Let me go to Tim, a first-time caller out of Virginia. There's one line open at 888-775-3773. Tim, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Jesse. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm a first-time caller, and I've listened to your show a few times, and I think it's a very interesting concept that you have with the European American History Month, because I think it's necessary, because I think that the European American history is a very interesting history. So I'm somewhat happy that you've done it, because I think it's something that everyone needs to evaluate and recognize the European American contribution, to North America, whether it's considered horrific or whether it's considered good or whatever the dynamic is. I think is very interesting having a European American History Month, and I was just wondering.
So, are you celebrating? White history?
I've never celebrated European American history before. I've went to school.
Are you black, Lee? Are you black, Tim?
In America. Pardon me, sir.
Are you black?
No, I'm not black.
Oh.
And
are you white?
No, I'm not white either.
And what are you?
And I am the original.
Original what?
Man.
What does that mean?
One of the original inhabitants of the planet Earth.
I don't know what that means.
Hold
on, Tim. Can you hold?
Sure.
All right, hold on for me. Amazing. Happy White History Month. I got to take a break. One more hour to go. 888-7753-773. 888-53773. I'll be back in a moment. One more hour to go. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news, but the hate news. And I'll be back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. Israel's biggest military operation in a while, in 20 years, killed 10 in the West Bank, killing those Palestinians. Ooh, rough. And about that customer, that fake, it was a fake customer who wanted the so-called same-sex wedding website that went all the way up to the Supreme Court. The customer was supposedly straight, how morally straight can you be? Anyway, And a roller coaster got stuck upside down, and some guy was drinking and hiking, and he died off Multnomah Falls in Oregon. Don't drink and hike, especially not precarious hikes. Be careful. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Country and Western Tuesday, for the 4th of July, 2023 AD. Happy Independence Day. Happy White History Month. JLP will be right back for hour 3, last hour of Country and Western Tuesday. Back to your calls and some great stories and the rest of the Super Chats, hopefully. But first, Hake News, not fake news. And after the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, you can catch the HakeReport.com. And of course, at noon Pacific time today, American Anchor Baby. But between Hake and American Anchor Baby, Joel Friday TV will be here. Very nice. Very fun. That Texas man who was found 8 years after he disappeared in Houston as a teenager in 2018, Rudy Farias. He is unresponsive and nonverbal, according to his family in an update yesterday. He was recently found by a Good Samaritan just miles from his home. 25 years old now, at a hospital, according to the nonprofit agency Texas Center for the Missing. What a mess. And rest in peace to Robert De Niro's grandson. That's that actor guy who really hates Trump. He's kind of beta. He's both Irish and Italian. That's a double whammy. Oof, terrible. Don't blame him. His grandson was a 19-year-old budding actor, but his family says that he died. De Niro said that he was deeply distressed by the passing of his beloved grandson, according to a statement, maybe a PR statement. Leandro Anthony De Niro Rodriguez, who appeared in the movie A Star is Born. Is that the one with that gal, that evil Lady Gaga gal? Ugh, maybe not. Be careful out there hiking. NBC far-left extremist outlet NBC News reports a 41-year-old male was hiking at a popular Oregon waterfall, perhaps a Hispanic guy. He died when he stumbled and fell about 200 feet down a cliff. Multnomah Falls. It was Gerardo Hernandez-Rodriguez. Gerardo Hernandez Rodriguez was discovered dead at the base of the cliff after rescuers responded to reports of his fall. Estimated that he fell nearly 200 feet. Believed that alcohol impairment. Doesn't that sound like a Hispanic to be drinking alcohol, and going hiking and having an error? Likely a contributing factor to the call, according to the office. Don't drink and hike. Israel's biggest military operation in the West Bank in 20 years kills 10 and sends thousands fleeing. What a mess. Civilians fleeing, by the way. Thousands of residents fled the Jenin refugee camp, Jenin. Israel said is a militant stronghold. Deadly raid entered its second day, and bulldozers reduced parts of the sprawling area to rubble. The operation follows months of intensifying incursions by Israeli troops into the West Bank city as the country's supposedly far-right government, if you believe that, faces domestic pressure to crack down after a spate of attacks against Israeli settlers. What a mess. A fake customer in the Supreme Court ruling. Did you hear about this? The Supreme Court ruled last week in favor of an evangelical Christian web designer who refused to work on so-called same-sex wedding websites. It was a case that wound up dealing a setback to so-called LGBTQ rights to impose on the Christians and the normal people. By the customer who supposedly reached out to Laurie Smith in 2016 about putting together a website for his fake marriage to another man was fake, according to the New Republic. What a mess. He's been married to a woman for years. But it still went to the Supreme Court, as it should have. I'm James Hake.
Powerball.
Out of the way, Slick. Come on, baby. Come on. I gotta win $1 million.
Featuring the best in Hollywood entertainment. Remember to win the jackpot, correctly match 5 white balls plus the red Powerball. Our first number is a 7.
white human beings thought there's a world here and we own it because they're so corrupt. There's
number 4. And next up is a...
It won't surprise you to hear that I find the SCOTUS ruling on affirmative action yesterday to be unbearably and unspeakably awful. You are a fucking pawn of white supremacy.
Come on! The schmuck doesn't know what's happening.
25. There's just one more white ball, and here it is.
I have a major announcement right now. So the whole month is White History Month from now on. Happy White History Month.
It's White History Month. I'm gonna celebrate with my friends. It's White History Month. So be sure to tell everyone there will always be different months to celebrate. This month's gonna be White History.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question, why do so many people commit suicide? Why do so many people commit suicide? Amazing question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And you can listen to the show anywhere in the world, out by the beach, whatever, running away from the blacks, or whatever you're doing. Living on the farmlands in Mommy, South Africa, and now you're out there, you still got to be your own police. You can listen to the show on your iPhone, iPad by calling 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us, Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram and JLP Talk on Twitter. Follow, like, ring the bell, and subscribe. All those good things. Y'all know what to do, right? Happy White History Month and happy 4th of July. We are celebrating July because we got to remember history. The enemies of God and the enemies of America are trying to destroy it. And they offer up nothing better. They won't offer it because they don't have it, right? They hate God and they hate good. And so we just can't sit back and just give up. You got to fight for your own life and fight for the country in the right way. In the right way. All right? Amazing. Let me go quickly back to Tim, and Tim is from Virginia, a first-time caller out of Virginia. I'm not quite sure what's up with him, but I'm trying to find out. So, Tim.
Yes, sir.
I'm black and slow, so I'm kind of missing what you're saying. Are you? And so I need a little bit clarity here. Are you celebrating White History Month with us?
I am very much interested in your concept of European American history. to say that I'm celebrating it, I wouldn't know how to celebrate it. So, but I'm very, very much find it very interesting. You know, this concept that you have come up with.
So, are you celebrating? Are you celebrating White History? Yes or no?
I don't know how to celebrate a European American history month. How could you explain to me
you
how
can
you
simply
celebrate?
you can simply be grateful that some white men came here and they, according to the military.com, over time the colonists, colonialists began to. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to find it so I can be real clear for you.
Okay.
I can't find it, Tim. I'm sorry. And my producer's not saying anything out there. So.
No. Okay.
Hold on 1 minute here. It's in my first hour. Oh, here you go.
Okay.
Military.com. Over time, the colonists began to resent being under the thumbs of Great Britain. And on July 4th, 1776, the 13 colonies claimed their independence. And eventually, they eventually led to the formation of the United States of America. Do you celebrate that?
Okay. So you're no longer speaking on the European American month. Now you're speaking on what's considered Independence Day.
Do you? Independence Day is White History. Do you celebrate that?
Well, I don't correlate the two as being the same.
Do you celebrate that?
Do I celebrate Independence Day?
Do you celebrate White History Day month? Do you celebrate? Oh, let me ask. Do you celebrate Independence Day, the 4th of July?
Well, the 4th of July is a recognized holiday in the United States. So I recognize.
Tim, I gotta go. You're not communicating for some reason, and I can't. I can't play. I appreciate it. He's not even. I asked him where he going. He tell me where he been. What the? I ain't got time for that. Let me go to Carter, a first-time caller out of Virginia. Carter, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
What's up, JLP?
All is well, sir. Thank you for calling.
Yes, sir. Thank you for everything you do, man.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Life after forgiving and overcoming is like living in the third person.
You went and forgave your mama?
Oh, yeah.
And how did that go?
My mom was already forgiving her father, so, you know, that was super easy. She understood.
Oh, good. Was it hard for you to go and apologize for resenting her?
No, not at all, because I saw it clear as day.
Nice.
That I had anger towards her.
And how about with your father?
Yeah, that one was a little harder because my father was a pretty angry guy. And my stepmom was kind of in the way, and I just really wished he was able to put her in her place.
Did you tell him that?
Yeah, I actually told my stepmom that when I forgave her. I said, I needed my father, and he was in the way. And so,
nice.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. I want to encourage you because now that you have returned to the light, your heart has been changed from anger to love, which is the nature, the light of God, right? The light of God. He's going to destroy the ego, all your identities and ideas that you picked up while growing up and thinking you're this and that and all those thoughts, which is the nature of the devil. He's going to destroy that. And when that happens, let it happen. Don't fight against it. It's going to feel like you're dying, but you're not. You're coming alive. The devil it's departing from your body. So let that happen, and you haven't seen anything yet.
Right. I totally see that, man, because it's really getting easier and easier, but the devil's getting louder and louder.
Yeah.
And my stepdad, shout out to my stepdad, man.
Shout out to stepdad.
He, you know, he was willing to stand alone 5 years ago, and there's no way to describe life besides amazing.
Well, right on, buddy. Will you stay with it? Happy White History Month. Happy 4th of July.
Oh, yeah, the best holiday in the world.
That's right.
And I want to tell any young men, just don't be afraid to stand alone.
Yep.
There's nothing for.
If you want to live, you must be willing to stand alone. You must be willing.
100%.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you, Carter. I appreciate it, man. Call me again, all right?
Awesome. Thank you, man.
All right. He's right. You must be willing to stand alone. Men and women. You must be willing to stand alone. Before I go to the next caller here and your super chat, we are celebrating White History Month, right? And this is an amazing story that was given to me by my producer, Sean. And the way he explains it is mind-blowing. And so I'm having Sean come in to explain this to you. He's taking a call right now. So, he's coming in. Come on down. A smart white man. Amazing. This is Sean. So tell us what's happening in France. And should I play the soundbite first, or you want to?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and play the soundbite.
Okay. We showed you how they're trying to get rid of white history, how they want to come up with a so-called new anthem, which is the dumbest idea I ever heard. They should take that mess somewhere else, right? And how they're trying to destroy all the white countries, and they're replacing it with nothing, with junk. And so we're celebrating white history in order to remember and not to forget. Meanwhile, France is burning down. France is burning. This is from Cultural Trip. From the late 18th century to the 19th century, the city of Paris became known as the City of Light. Paris, did you know that? Became known as the City of Light, a center of education and ideas throughout Europe. A center of education and ideas throughout Europe, inspiring poets, engineers, and scientists. I want you to see how France used to look. Watch this, from compilations. Wow. It reminds me of how America used to look like that.
Yeah. So peaceful, organized, beautiful churches. We've done segments on the buildings and how they're getting uglier and uglier. But, France back in the day, 1700s, 1800s, even like the early 1900s, especially like 1920s, it just was considered like the height of culture. and America was still young. It was still scrappy, still developing, but France was already established as like a place of just absolute beauty and, a place where people appreciated life and beauty and structure, social structure more than other places.
Had they allowed any people of color in at that time?
Yeah, there were some. France is also considered more liberal than has been for many, years, considered more liberal than other countries. But as far as their appreciation for art and beauty, it's pretty much, unmatched. And then this modern France, as you'll see in the next clip, once you start loosening your immigration rules, the whole country changes.
So you saw what France looked like, right? How beautiful. That was amazing. Breitbart is reporting that rioting raged in cities around France, despite a huge police deployment with cars and buildings set ablaze and stores looted. The French government is considered a nationwide state of emergency. France is fighting for the very right to call itself a civilization. Watch this come. So we showed you what it looked like before, right? Paradise on earth. Watch this combination of what it looked like now.
Burnt out cars and debris littered the streets. The reason for the protests? The death of a 17-year-old, named only as Nael M., pulled over for supposedly breaking traffic rules. An eyewitness filmed the police performing the check. When Nael tried to pull away, the officer fired at point-blank range, killing the teenager. The officer who fired the deadly shot was taken into custody, accused of voluntary manslaughter.
Arrêtez le action de Sevran. Au nom de Dieu, le action de Sevran, elle a brûlé. Wallah, c'est super chaud.
So, all in the last week or so.
All in the last week?
Said, how'd you like France? He said, I wouldn't go to France. I wouldn't go to France because France is no longer France. France is no longer France. They won't like me for saying that. France is no longer France.
Amazing. So that's what it looked like now. And quickly, I just want to remind you what it used to look like before this. Watch this. The first one. Amazing. man, are those people that was a couple of things. Those people that were looting and rioting, were those Allahu Abba people or black people? Those Allahu Abba?
Yeah.
Really?
Letting Muslims into their country, yeah.
So what's wrong with white people? They prefer beauty and the best. But what's wrong with them that they allow these people to come in who are coming from countries that they couldn't run them, couldn't make happen, right? Why do the whites let this happen?
You know, I think I have a similar answer to the biblical question. You know, why are so many people committing suicide? Because that, you know, for whatever reason, that order is no longer there. You know, the order of God that we talk about is no longer there. You know, the mothers get to the kids, you know, too early in their life, and they're not able to overcome that imagination in their head that they start to develop as a response to that, and that order never fully returns. So, you know, you see it go from that very just such a civilized, you know, society, and to get demoralized. I can't tell you what the original cause of that, you know, was, but yeah.
Same thing happened here in America. White people built beautiful paradise on earth, and the people came from hell and just took it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that famous quote that a lot of people talk about. It goes something like, you know, strong men create good times create weak men create hard times create strong men. But but yeah, I mean, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say that strong men create good times.
Right.
You know, if you're really a strong man, it seems like, you know, good times and civilized times aren't necessarily the same.
Yeah.
Aren't necessarily the same
Absolutely,
thing. Good seems like such a shallow way to put it. But when it's civilized, you know, there are definitely some people out there that wouldn't refer to that as good, but it's definitely superior. You know, that order was just there. It just seems so peaceful. You know?
It was like
the music, the food,
and the people just living their life, going about their day.
Yeah.
The talents coming out.
Right. The towns were built for people.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Well, one based Polish man.
Right.
He's like, one monkey don't stop no show.
Right.
This is from Breitbart. Watch this, folks. The Polish Prime Minister drew a link between France's immigration policies and its social cohesion. He said he intended to continue his government's safe immigration policy and posted a social media video contrasting the summer in Polish cities to the other side of Europe. Watch this from BitChute. BitChute. Watch this. Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
So the prime minister in Poland said that, I ain't bring that mess over here.
Yeah, he's not afraid to be called racist. You know, he's got a white country. He's saying we're going to keep our immigration policy and we're not going to let certain types of people in. And he's got no problem saying that. So he put this social media post out, and he highlighted, you know, the reason behind all this violence in France in the first place is their immigration policies.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we're going the same way.
So France has a weak government.
Yeah. Now they do. At least in terms of immigration, they do.
What a mess.
So do we.
Yeah, we definitely have one. And so so when the other white so-called leaders, the president of the white countries, when they see the Polish man saying, nope, call me whatever you want, I ain't doing that. I'm not letting these people in my country to destroy. I'm protecting the citizens here. Why don't they learn from that? The losers, why don't they learn from that one man?
They're in a fallen state. The men in France, I'm sure, will be the first to call him a racist.
They're gonna try to go there and mess it up and destroy it. Because once they destroy Paris and all those places around, they're gonna try to go after him as well.
Yeah. Yep.
What a mess!
Yeah.
Man, some things you just anyway.
Right.
Thank you, man.
Letting it all go to waste. All right.
Yeah, they are. Kevin is out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Kevin, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
All is well, Kevin.
All is well. Happy 4th of July.
Thank you. Happy 4th and happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month to you, too.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you, would you consider having a chapter or a forum or something with your presence, maybe, I don't care if it's like once a year or something in Georgia? Because you get a lot of calls from Georgia, I know. You say, Georgia on my mind
Georgia,
all the time.
Georgia, Georgia, Georgia on my mind.
I mean, we would love to have something here. I think, the like-minded people who love to hear you and listen to you all the time, like for me as a man with a family, and, I would love to get around other like-minded men as well,
I want you
definitely good.
I want you to hold on and get your contact information. I would love to.
Okay, awesome. That would be awesome.
We need to get the truth around the country now and around the world. And so I would definitely love to. So we'll talk and see what we can do to put something together.
Okay. And I had one more question for you. It's
yes, sir.
Kind of it was like a would you rather question.
All right.
So would you rather go on the show The View as a guest for a week and have to share a dressing room with Whoopi Goldberg, or have a drive-in movie date with your favorite Richard of West, Maxine Waters?
Wow. Oh, God.
The hot seat.
I think I wouldn't mind either one, but I'll do The View. That way we'll reach more people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true, because it's a mess.
It's a mess. Kevin, hold on. I'm going to let Sean get your contact information, all right?
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. I got to take a quick break. 888-775-3773. Back in a moment. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father. because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. That is the America that I know. What the? Wow. Thank you, Sean. My producer put that one together. We were supposed to play it at the top of the hour before. This hour, we forgot. Got a lot going on right now, but it's beautiful. Be black. Be black. And that's the national anthem that those dumb black people want to change. With nothing to offer. Junk. A bunch of junk. They want to take away the real deal and replace it with nothing. What a mess. Y'all better be trying to say no to these folks. That's the real national anthem right there, not that mess. And by the way, the treasure chest is now open on D-Live. Thank you, Sean. That's amazing, man. It's heartfelt. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. The Hake Report from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time, and then from 11 to 12 Pacific time, Joel Friday TV. Joel Friday TV. He black. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. He Anchor Baby. At 12 noon Pacific time. Remembering to remember and not to forget. Happy White History Month. And don't forget that if you want counseling, we have the best counseling service on this side of heaven by phone, Skype, or walk-in. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. I was thinking about what the national anthem that we just played, and it's overwhelming. It reminds me of when I was growing up. That's what we were taught. We weren't taught all this hateful mess, really. And I grew up under the Jim Crow law, whatever that means. All right? And we loved America, and this is why. Happy White History Month. I want to just quickly play this because some of you, I'm sure, miss this type of language, and some of you millennials have never heard it, and you need to hear it. And I just want to remind those who miss this type of language, who miss it. This is from Politico. In 2020, the Great White Hope, well, they didn't say Great White Hope, I'm saying the Great White Hope. They said President Donald Trump issued a speech delivered against the backdrop of Mount Rushmore on the 4th of July. Watch this from USA Today. Watch this.
We gather tonight to herald the most important day in the history of nations, July 4th, 1776. It was all made possible by the courage of 56 patriots who gathered in Philadelphia 244 years ago and signed the Declaration of Independence. 1776 represented the culmination of thousands of years of Western civilization and the triumph of not only spirit, but of wisdom, philosophy, and reason. They were American giants in full flesh and blood, gallant men whose intrepid deeds unleashed the greatest leap of human advancement the world has ever known. From head to toe, George Washington represented the strength, grace, and dignity of the American people. From a small volunteer force of citizen farmers, he created the Continental Army out of nothing and rallied them to stand against the most powerful military on earth. When defeat seemed absolutely certain, he took what remained of his forces on a daring nighttime crossing of the Delaware River. They marched through 9 miles of frigid darkness, many without boots on their feet, leaving a trail of blood in the snow. In the morning, they seized victory at Trenton. After forcing the surrender of the most powerful empire on the planet, General Washington did not claim power, but simply returned to Mount Vernon as a private citizen. When called upon again, he presided over the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia and was unanimously elected our first president. Americans must never lose sight of this miraculous story. We should never lose sight of it. Nobody has ever done it like we have done it.
Amazing. Now, that's the type, those are, the Great White Hope is from the old school, by the way. And those are the type of men that were around that will remind you of the greatness, not weak beta males with mama mindsets and emotions that would tell you to tear it down. He's of good and not of evil. The Great White Hope, amazing speech. That makes you want to, doesn't that make you just want to make America great again? You've been lied to by haters of God and haters of this country. We celebrate White History Month to remind you, and introduce to those who don't even know, because a lot of young people don't even know. They have no clue. They've been taught everything but reading, writing, and arithmetic, and true history of America. Anything but that. Somebody got to remind you. Let me go quickly to Tony out of California. Tony, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Justin. How you be today?
All is well, Tony.
Wonderful, wonderful. I see that you're doing your monologue for the history of white Europeans in this country.
Oh, by the way, Tony, happy White History Month. I forgot to tell you.
Okay. That's nice. I mean, I don't celebrate man-made propaganda. So you can keep that. But the thing is, in 1776, your ancestors were slaves.
You know my ancestors?
Your ancestors, my ancestors.
Do you know my ancestors?
I don't have to know them, sir.
So do you know my ancestors?
I don't have to know them.
I'm going to ask you one more time and then I'm going to let you go. Do you know my ancestors?
No, I don't know them.
Then why do you say they were slaves if you don't know
Because
them?
you black just like I am,
Have
sir.
you ever met them?
You black like I am.
Tony, have you ever met them?
No.
So then
that's irrelevant.
why would you lie and say my ancestors
That's not
were
a lie.
slaves when you don't even know them nor have you met them?
That's not a lie. You black just like I am.
You didn't answer my question. Why would you say that when you never met them nor know them?
Hey, the thing is that they black like
Tony,
you and I.
you're not one more time.
I
Why
know
do
you
you
got
say
the
that
run.
about
I know you
my?
got the
And why
run,
do you
Jesse.
say that about my ancestors when you never met them nor do you know them?
Okay, let me recant that about my ancestors then.
Tony,
okay?
you didn't answer that
Because-
question yet.
Why would I say that? Because you black. That's why I said that.
And what does that mean? You would say you never met any of my folks, nor do you know them. You said that you're saying it just because I'm black.
Of course.
And what kind of sense does that make?
It makes a whole lot of sense, sir.
In what way?
Because you black.
What does that mean? That doesn't have any meaning. What does that mean?
Of your own origin.
What does that mean?
You're in denial. That's
Tony,
what that means.
what that mean because you black?
What that means?
Yeah.
You black. I mean, what more answer do you need, Jesse?
No, I need to know.
The
I don't
thing
know
is,
what that means.
in
You never met my
1776,
folks.
black folks
You
was
don't
in
know my
slavery,
people.
and you saying that
said
slavery was
because
good
I'm
thing.
black, boy. You said because
Okay,
I'm
then
black.
You go your little games. I don't
What do
take
you
that.
mean
If you
because
grown
I'm
men,
black?
Can
What
we
do you?
talk? Can we talk, Jesse?
What do you mean because I'm black?
I mean, why you got to play games? Can we talk as
Tony, I'm asking. Asking.
I just
What
told
does
you,
that
Jesse.
mean because I'm black? I don't know what that mean though.
Because black folks during the time of 1776 was in slavery.
Well, what does that mean? Because I'm black.
Jesse, what are you, Jesse? You're
Were
a man, and your
my
origin is
people
black.
were my people
You
enslaved?
You said you came from prop shops.
Tony,
yes.
were my people and my family member, were they enslaved?
Yes, they were.
And did you meet some enslaved or something?
I'm meeting you.
Tony,
You
did
came
you
from
meet?
Popstars.
Did you meet any of them enslaved or something?
I'm looking at you, Jesse. You grew up in slavery.
All right, thank you, Tony. Bye. Super chat. Super. They say things that doesn't make any sense at all, and then you ask for explanation, they can't explain it. See how messed up, enslaved the black mind is? Super. Hake is here with his shirt on in the face of Nikki Haley.
Indeed.
Amazing.
That woman. We should send her back to the UN. Anyway, this super chat's from because she was the UN ambassador under Trump. We sent her out of the country. The key on Streamlabs says JCLeePeterson.live. Jesse, what do you think about a Trump Vivek ticket for 2024?
Who?
Vivek.
Who is that?
Vivek Ramaswamy.
No, Allah people.
He's not necessarily Muslim.
Who is he? That's a Muslim name, right?
No, it's an Indian name.
Oh.
Vivek Ramaswamy. I don't know if he's Muslim or Hindu or Christian or atheist.
He lives in India?
No.
Where do you live?
No. He lives in America. I don't know. Stop it, Siri.
Thanks. I mean, okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
The man...
I don't like that. I want Americans to run. We need America back. These foreigners coming in, they're going to have their foreigners' ideas. So we just need to fix America first, and only Americans know how to do that, men like Donald Trump.
Well, you interrupted his super chat because you jumped in.
What?
I was in the middle of his super chat. He doesn't even finish his super chat yet.
The one that asked about Yvette?
Yeah.
Yvette.
Vivek. Vivek's vision complements Trump's vision to unite Americans on the common values outlined in our Constitution and put America first, says the Key.
Oh, okay. Well, Key, I'm sorry, but I don't know Yvette. But James said Yvette is from India. I don't want any more foreigners running my country for now. Well, I won't ever want it again, but we need Americans to run. All right, so sorry, but I don't know Yvette.
Vivek.
Be back.
He was born in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, India?
To Indian immigrant parents. He's an anchor baby.
Oh, they have a city in India called Cincinnati?
No, Ohio.
Oh.
Born in Cincinnati, Ohio. He's 37 years old.
Oh, nice.
By the way, the Key is complements, not compliments. He spelled it with an I. It's supposed to be spelled with an E.
He can help the Great White Hope. Maybe campaign for him.
Yeah. Nice.
But thank you, buddy. If it's a girl, whether you're a girl or a guy, thank you.
The Key.
But the Key, I just want my country back.
The Key.
Oh, the Key. The Key. I just want America running America. Look at the mess now. All these. Remember that black woman that came over here as a refugee, and they were dumb enough to put her in our government? Look at her.
Ilhan Omar?
Yeah, Ilhan Omar.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you.
Noah's Ark, Kansas says, Happy Independence Day and White History Month.
It's Independence Day. Thank you. Same to you.
Mike Young on Streamlabs. Hey, Jesse, James, Hake, and Hassan, I love hot dogs, but what do you guys think about adding some chili and cheese for a topping? And do you guys prefer Sonic's hot dogs or James Coney Island's hot dog? Happy 4th and White History Month. Thanks, Mike Young.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Right now, in my mind, I'm just thinking of put some hot dogs in the pot and boiling them, put it on bread, and eating it.
Why boiled hot dogs? Why not barbecue the hot dogs?
There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Or a dog.
Thank you. That's right.
I used to love, there's a place called Skyline Chili, and I used to love chili cheese on the little mini dogs.
Oh, don't let your dog hear that.
I've never been to, I don't think I've ever been to Sonic's. I've never heard of James Coney Island's hot dogs.
I don't know any of those places.
I love Sonic's.
Those are East Coast things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Sonic's come here now.
Sonic's was right next to my house.
I like pink.
Sonic's and Chick-fil-A.
Terrible.
Chick-fil-A clean black people's shoes. Is that Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, it is.
Is that Chick-fil-A?
Yes, they're supposedly Christian.
They clean black people's shoes. They give them a hug.
Pink's is good.
Anyway. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, thank you. Pork chop. I do like chili cheese hot dogs as well. Yes. Pork chop.
I like it too, but we were just talking about regular, normal hot dog.
Classic American.
Right. Thank you, Mike.
Pork Chop Express on Rumble says, "Great shirt, Jesse. I have one just like it. You said Bill Lockwood is the smartest white man you know. Who is the smartest black man you know?"
Justice Clarence Thomas.
That was going to be my guess.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you.
Powers That Bear on D Live with a diamond. We need more children of July! Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark.
We need white babies. July just feels white.
Children of July, not children of the lie.
That's right.
Marcus Jones Stinks gave a diamond. It used to be called Marcus Jones Sucks, but I don't like saying sucks.
Right.
So he changed it to Marcus Jones Stinks to cater to Hake. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
He says, Austrian man, 1939. France looks pretty. I'll take it.
I'm telling you, beautiful. How do white people let these folks mess up their countries?
Not good.
Amazing.
Birdie Bound Brian on the Streamlabs. Biblical question response. In the words of Tim from Virginia, because they don't know how to celebrate White History Month. Biblical question.
Why do so many people commit suicide?
Oh, yeah. They don't know how to celebrate White History Month.
Amazing. We got to stop there because of time.
Okie dokie.
Did you finish Super Chat?
No, we'll have a few left over for tomorrow, I guess.
You will get to them now real fast?
Yeah. Wiz says, Is there any way to forgive your mother if she's passed? Love you, brother.
Yeah, by realizing the same spirit that's driving you to do things that you don't want to do or wouldn't do, it came from your mother so she can help herself. And that way, you see, you can help yourself. It will cause you to forgive her since she has expired.
Testing 07524 says, America first!
That's right, and forever. Christ is king.
Yikes.
Thank you.
On D Live, Coffee Talk with Sandra gave a few diamonds, thank you, and said, or at least a couple, Sean, excellent job on graphics, just fantastic.
Yeah.
That might have been Nick and Hassan, but that's okay.
Yeah.
D Live chat is the best. Happy 4th, smiley face.
Thank you.
Mav Angel with a diamond, amazing.
Amazing. Thank you.
And thanks, top contributors, Stan 6 something, GMD Jim, Coffee Talk with Sandra, and all the rest of you guys. Appreciate it. And I do believe that may be all for Being Enlightened Till I Rise says on Rumble, sent an email to you guys referring to the racist line in the anthem. Hope you guys got it.
Amazing.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now I think that's all. Oh, no. Big Mama Michelle has a plump when you cook them. Ballpark Frank in her pants says Evgeny Crosby, which I disavow.
So why you keep reading that?
I don't think it's...
She's still the boss.
I think it was... Because I don't think it was that vulgar.
That was.
Okay. My bag. All right, guys. Thank you again.
Thank you all. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. The Hake Report is coming up after my show at the top of this hour, coming up soon. Let me go to a first-time caller, Michelle, out of Kentucky. Michelle, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey, Michelle.
Happy White History Month.
Thank you. Happy White History Month to you.
I have a question because I'm kind of new to the, God and Bible and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I got to a point where, suicide was just the only thing in my head. That it was just it. And that's kind of where I was. My daughter attempted suicide a little over a year ago. She spent months in the hospital, and after that, I was just like, I'm finished. I am finished. And I got to the point where I started just crying out to God, and I'm like, I am done. If you've got something you need to tell me, you need to tell me now. If you've got something you need to show me, you need to show me now. And I opened up the Bible, and I started reading it. And when I did that, I thought, oh, it's kind of funny. He's got a good sense, kind of like that kind of stuff. So I just read a little bit more, prayed a little bit more, read more, got mad, cussed out, man. I'm not going to lie, I've done, some stuff and everything. But afterwards, I have in this video, like it's actually on video. I was trying to send it to you, I don't know how, but there is like
send it to
flying.
Send it to producer@jesseleepeterson.com.
Okay, yeah, I need to send it because I feel like, am I going nuts at this point? Like, I've never had a daytime vision, so I'll make that clear until the other day. And it was clear as you're ever going to get. And in that same thing, on video, you can see like 30-something white orbs flying around. I mean, my daughter starts yelling, something touched me, and there's a white orb flying from her feet on up. I mean, it is clear. And it's like, but she said, people are saying my eyes are extremely red. And at that moment, I was seeing a red, like on fire dove, like a maybe white dove, I'm not for sure. And then it turned into like what looked like a fire bush or maybe that fire emoji, but it's on fire. And then it turned to a fire airplane. And then it turned what looked like a weird therapy picture. And then about that time, 30-something orbs are just flying around. So
amazing.
Is that demonic or what? It doesn't feel demonic, and it feels strong, and my whole body feels, and as I'm talking to you, it feels like not as much pressure, But I don't want to do anything wrong.
Do me a kind favor. Send it to me. I'll watch it tonight. And call me. Can you call me tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll take your call as soon as you call in, all right? Remind Sean that you called today, and I asked you to call back. And we'll pick up on this.
Judgment is coming like now, and I'm supposed to let y'all know at this point.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, but call me tomorrow. I'm totally out of time, all right?
Okay, thank you. Bye, y'all.
Okay, thank you. I am totally out of time. The Hake Report coming up now. And happy White History Month. Happy 4th of July. Become your own man. Become your own woman. Go and forgive your mama and return to your father. Do the silent prayer, www.silentprayer.video. Stay on that path no matter what. I'll be back tomorrow if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. I want to thank my staff here today. Amazing job getting White History Month on the move. It was an amazing move. And someone wanted us to play If. We'll do that tomorrow. We ran out of time today. We'll do that tomorrow. Thank you all so much. Thomas out of California, first time caller. First time caller out of Sweet Home, Alabama. Was it Dina or Deborah or somebody hung up? And Victoria.
Get on track.
Bye.
Joel Friday here. Look, stand up. Stand up, we got fighting to do. We gotta show him who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you. Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understand in the lose. You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
So you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know thyself so you get something went wrong, but and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father.